So the lockout kind of makes it hard to come up with anything new for the Yankees because, well, lockout means that the Yankees haven't been able to make moves, and we are about a third of the way into March. And while there may be progress, I don't really see a deal being done tonight. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and hopefully tomorrow, when this is uploaded, this is being recorded on March 8th, by the way. I like an idiot. That'd be great. But with that being said, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Andrew Benintendi. Now, I want to do a series called the Ryan Garcia Offseason Plan. Kind of hinted at it with a bunch of spreadsheets earlier on my Twitter account, but I want to finally have an official one. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the first move. Well, it doesn't have to be the first move, but one of the moves that I would want the Yankees to make. And with that being said, let's get into it. I'm Ryan Garcia from Fireside Yankees. You guys know where to find me at Ryan Garcia ESM on Twitter. You guys know to check out Fireside Yankees on Twitter as well, and to check out Empire Sports Media for all your New York sports content. And without further ado, let's get into today's video.
That one's in deep to left field.
And Schultz cashes in.
Got him. Oh, what a play.
Standing forward again.
Here comes Wade. Here's the throw. He's safe.
So, in 2021, Andrew Benintendi had a pretty solid season. He hit 276 with a 324 on base, slugged 442, and had a 106 WRC plus with 17 home runs. And if you look at some StatCast numbers, an 8.9% barrel rate with a 331 expected run on base average and a 15.4 launch angle means that he's getting the ball in the air a decent amount. He's hitting the ball decently hard. His quality of contact is above league average, and he's an above average offensive player. And this was despite the fact that he was in a ballpark that, while yes, was actually a surprisingly good run environment in 2021, wasn't very conducive for home runs for left-handed hitters. Something that Andrew Benintendi's spray chart suggests would get better if he were moved to a stadium like Yankee Stadium. Now, this isn't to say Andrew Benintendi is going to become a superstar if he leaves Kansas City, more so that Andrew Benintendi is most likely going to improve from that 106 WRC plus, which is already pretty solid. And Benintendi's ability to hit right-handed pitching pretty well allows him to be someone that the Yankees could platoon in the lineup and potentially help them with their struggles last year against right-handed pitching. They only had a 97 WRC plus against right-handed pitching, which would be the 13th best in baseball. And so getting a guy like Benintendi to slot in the lineup would definitely help them in that regard. Projections for Benintendi are actually pretty good. Steamer and the Bat X are the range we're going to be using because Steamer is pretty low on Benintendi and the Bat X is really high on him. Now, Steamer being low on Benintendi is still pretty good for Benintendi. A 108 WRC plus with a 765 OPS, 17 home runs, 1.8 FWAR over 130 games is really, really solid as your low-end situation. While the Bat X has him playing 132 games with a 120 WRC plus, 818 OPS, 21 home runs, and 3.0 FWAR, which is really, really solid. Now, I'm not here to say that the Steam projections are his lowest outcome or like the 10th percentile outcome, but if we look at it like percentiles, what's your average outcome? The range of average outcomes is around a 108 to 120 WRC plus, so in most cases, he's going to be putting up a 108 to 120 WRC plus, which is pretty good. And considering that he's going to go to a little more friendly stadium for him, and he's most likely going to be only facing right-handed pitching instead of being a full-time starter because Aaron Hicks is there and he's a switch hitter and he can handle left-handed pitching, you have a situation where Benintendi is more efficient, better optimized, and is going to find more success, though not as a full-time starter. And this is where I kind of see Benintendi slotting in for the Yankees. A platoon outfielder that can help the Yankees get Hicks out of the lineup when he's hurt or when he's, banged up, or Judge out of the lineup, or Gallo out of the lineup, or Stanton out of the lineup when they're banged up. And versus right-handed pitching, give them another lefty to break up the righties and do better against right-handed pitching because Benintendi in his career has done better against right-handed pitching. The Yankees this year, again, struggled against right-handed pitching a little bit, so this could be a win-win for both parties here. So what could a trade look like for Benintendi? Let's talk about it. So, I think a good deal for both teams would be the Yankees getting Andrew Benintendi in return for Albert Abreu, Edgar Barclay, and Brandon Lockridge. Albert Abreu is a major league ready reliever with some nasty stuff, but struggles with command, and just doesn't have a fit in the Yankee bullpen because he doesn't have MILB options, minor league options. And so the Yankees aren't going to send down one of their guys who are better than Abreu or release one of the guys who are better than Abreu. Even if you're like, I don't even consider Lucas Luetge a Yankee at this point. I do think he's going to get traded, which is unfortunate. I really do like Lucas Luetge. But if you look at a Lucas Luetge-less Yankee bullpen, you have Nestor, Michael King, Joely Rodriguez, Wandy Peralta, Clay Holmes, Chad Green, or oldest Chapman, Jonathan Loaizaga. That's 8 guys, a 5-man rotation. That's 13 pitchers. A 26-man roster, you have 4 bench players and 9 starting players. You just don't have enough room for Albert Abreu, and he has to be on a major league roster, or else he gets waived or DFA'd, and you're not going to just lose Abreu for nothing. So throw him in this deal and try to get a guy like Andrew Benintendi. The Yankees are ultimately going to be getting a pretty solid player anyways. Even though he's on a 1-year deal, it's still a pretty good price to pay for the Yankees, and I think the Royals are getting some good talent here. Barkley and Lockridge are solid minor league players, 35 to 40 FV prospects. They have some upside. Lockridge more of a defense speed guy with a bat that emerged in AA, but I don't think it's going to sustain itself. And Barkley, a reliever who has some pretty solid stuff, just needs to continue to build up his run prevention because that struggled in high A ball, even though it didn't maintain elite strikeout to walk rate. So let me know what you guys think about this deal. Let me know what you guys think about Andrew Benintendi, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You know where to find me at Ryan Garcia ESM. I love you guys very dearly. Ryan out.
Listen close, what is this? Is it heartbreak? Is it truly what it feels like? What it sound like? When it's truly at a sharp teeth in the chest, cancer all in the breast and the feet and the bruise. Feeling like a pawn to the degree that he's smooth, but I never been a piece of the evil in the room of these tricks. Niggas with they mask, I presume. I'm telling if I got a load, I swear I resume. On my conquest.